So guys, the worst has happened. The news that many didn't want to hear just dropped. The Wonder Woman game has officially been cancelled. And it gets worse. It's not just about the game being cancelled. Warner Brothers just shut down 3 studios at once. Stick around in this video because we're going to talk about the news and share our thoughts on the situation with Warner Brothers Games, which isn't looking good at all. What's up everyone? Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Before we dive in, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Are you bummed about the Wonder Woman game getting cancelled? Or do you think it was cancelled because it wasn't shaping up to be good enough? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notifications so you're always in the loop about the latest from DC and Marvel. We've got videos with reviews, recaps, news, everything related to our favorite superheroes in comics, shows, movies, and animations. Subscribe to stay updated on all of it. Thanks a ton, and let's get into the video's topic. This news came from Bloomberg, the same site that reported on the whole WB Games situation, and now they're announcing that Warner Brothers has closed 3 game development studios. They are Monolith Games, which was responsible for the Wonder Woman game and previously developed Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, Player First Games, the studio behind Multiversus, which also got shut down, and lastly, WB Games San Diego, which was working on mobile games. Don't confuse it with WB Games Montreal, which made Gotham Knights and Arkham Origins. WB Games San Diego was a different studio. The report confirms that Warner decided to cancel the game. They didn't choose to continue development with another studio, especially since this game has had a pretty rocky development since it was announced at the Game Awards back in 2021. In fact, the teaser we saw at the Game Awards, which ended up being the only concrete thing released about the game, was just meant to attract new talent, people who wanted to work on the Wonder Woman game and could apply to be at Monolith Games because Monolith wasn't ready to handle that type of game. It was also revealed that the developer didn't actually want to make this game. What they really wanted was to develop a game that would enhance the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, where defeated enemies remember their losses, creating some interesting rivalries. Monolith wanted to improve that system, but Warner didn't approve the project and told them they had to work on a big game based on a DC franchise, which is how they ended up choosing Wonder Woman. The announcement about the closure of the 3 studios came in an email from JB Parrott, who I even mentioned in the last video. He's the guy who said that the future of gaming lies in live service games. Parrott stated that the reason for these closures came from the financial loss Warner experienced due to the Suicide Squad game, which was a whopping $200 million in losses, and now the company plans to focus more on smaller games, like mobile games, to gradually recover their lost money, before possibly returning to working on AAA games. It's a tough perspective from JB Parrott, suggesting that the future is in live service games when all the live services Warner has launched have failed miserably, so it's hard to defend that. For those who think that executives always know the right path when making decisions at Warner, all of this proves otherwise. The ones who suffer are the people at these studios who are now unemployed, while we fans miss out on the opportunity to play the games we've been looking forward to, especially regarding DC characters or Warner properties as a whole, like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, and many others. It's really a shame. As for the Wonder Woman game, the whole situation surrounding it is tricky. I mean, it got rebooted along the way, and the developer didn't even know what to do with it to the point of halting production. So all the behind-the-scenes info suggested that the game wasn't good. The worst part is that any chance of a solid Wonder Woman game in the future is going to take a long time to materialize. Let's hope the folks who are working in those studios can find new jobs as soon as possible. Looking at the millions in losses Warner Brothers has suffered in the gaming sector, it's honestly alarming. It was a massive blow, and it didn't happen out of nowhere. The games that Warner was banking on didn't pan out. Multiversus had huge potential to be an awesome game, but after the beta was closed and the game relaunched without significant improvements, it was doomed. There were so many bugs, and if you think about it, Rocksteady hasn't been shut down either because they started developing a new Batman game. Given their tremendous success with the Arkham series, this is their last shot after the Suicide Squad flop. This Batman game has to be really good for the studio to regain trust. Back to Monolith, one of the reasons Warner probably decided to shut the studio down is that they hadn't developed a game in years. So, it's likely that Warner saw this detail, recognized that the Wonder Woman game wasn't tracking well, and already spent over $100 million on it, leading to this fallout with shareholders and the higher-ups at WB Games. All of this is pretty complicated, and now any dream of a AAA game featuring other DC heroes besides Batman isn't gonna happen anytime soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me in this video. Share your thoughts about this news in the comments below, and before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon because it really helps us keep this channel running, and you'll always be in the loop with everything happening in DC. Also, I've got this video suggestion for you about the overall WB Games news, so check that one out to stay updated on DC gaming, and if you're a fan of the Arkham games, click on that playlist on your screen and check out our many videos. I'm sure you'll enjoy those. Thanks again for being here, and see you next time.